My name is Julius Williams. I'm 79 years old.
I'm Ray Donadio, age 68.
What type of music do you like best?
Well, I play bass guitar in a little band, a 5-piece band. We do rock and roll 60s, 70s, and we play VFWs, Eagles, private parties, and it's a bunch of old guys.
I'm not a musician, but I like jazz, traditional jazz. Not the current stuff that they put on.
Yeah.
You know, I like
improvisational jazz.
Yeah, improvisational jazz.
Herbie Green, remember that name?
Yeah.
I got to play with him once, jazz trombonist at our college. Oh.
That's what I found I like about particularly jazz. You know, you start out together, you go out on your own way, and then you come back, go out, you come back. And it's kind of like life, you know.
But these two things you found particularly important about your bio was the medical care and free quality public education aspects of what your beliefs are. So say a little bit more about that.
In the United States, I mean, it's probably one of the best educational systems in the world. I mean, it's free. The only problem with it is the quality. Children who live in lower class or lower income communities don't have all the benefits. And we've just got to figure out a way that everyone can get a good quality education.
May I ask, was your elementary school segregated or integrated?
Segregated, both. High school, all the way from first grade right on through 12th grade.
Okay.
And as I said before, I just want a roof over my head. I want to put food on the table. And everybody else desires the same. You know, I had a discussion several weeks ago with a very close friend over gun control. But I've known the guy for 20 years. So I'm going to not be friends simply because we don't agree on who should own guns.
Do you have any of that with family?
No.
I have that with family. This particular election season, well, the particular candidates, very divisive. And I have brothers who are on the other side of the fence. And we've discovered that we can't discuss politics. So we don't, because the relationship is more important than the politics of it. But it grieves me. And I have to struggle with not wanting to persuade them.
Well, maybe you ought to stop trying to persuade them.
Well, yes, you're right. And you know why? Because I'm not going to persuade them. Because we don't have the same worldview. I don't want two people who I don't know, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, I don't want them to dictate my relationship with my family or my friends.
Hopes for the future. One thing that, we can start talking to each other. But the other thing that I think I would hope for is this. We live in the richest country in the world, and people shouldn't be living on the streets. And, as you drive around town here in Orange County, there's this areas where you just find that homeless people have congregated. And we have to be able to find some kind of way that everyone can have a roof over their head at night. People should have enough to eat. And that's what my hope for the future would be.
You are an enigma to me, because the things you mentioned, that and healthcare and education, are all things that when I got here are things that I wouldn't have expected from someone who was conservative. You and I, even though we're on different sides of the political spectrum, agree on those things. Now, maybe where we don't agree is should the assistance given to those homeless or those in need, should it come from the government?
Only government can do certain things. The question becomes, to what extent does government interfere with or control my life? As a conservative, I know we have to pay taxes. Okay. The question becomes, how much of my money are you going to take?
as a progressive, I guess I view social justice and acceptance and affirmation of people as part of the progressive. Now, with regard to like fiscal taxes, I pay taxes, and I'd be lying if I said I want to pay more. But on the other hand, I don't want to pay less if it's going to impinge upon the services.
There's certain things that only government can do. There's certain things that they can't do, and they shouldn't get involved in it.
Say more about that. Give me a couple of examples.
Well,
where government shouldn't be involved.
Here in Florida, the legislature decided that they would pass a statute against, what do they call it? Gender affirming treatment. I have a child. I have a relationship with that child. We have a relationship with the physician, and we have made a decision that this is what is best for my child. And you're going to tell me that, no, I can't do what's best for my child because you think this is not best for my child.
That person's worldview is imposing upon your.
Stay out of that. You shouldn't have. You don't get involved in that. That's between me and my child and my doctor.
I hear you.
That's my conservative view.
I've truly enjoyed this conversation.
So have I. So I'll give you my phone number.
Yes.
And you can come on.
That conversation was recorded before the election. StoryCorps' One Small Step and the radio station hubs are made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. To sign up for a conversation, visit cfpublic.org/onesmallstep.